Welcome to episode 8, Smash Attack. We finally know what numbers we're on
Yep.
for certain. Everything is on the website and everything is good to go. So, hooray!
But do we know? Are we really sure?
No,
All right.
no one is ever sure of anything. Let me get deep on you. Alright, so, screenshots of the week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Were you going to display them? Yeah, look at that. You can do it. Okay. So, anybody watching, this is Monday screenshot. Looks cool. Looks like there might be some environmental things going on in Gerudo Valley. I'm kind of strange, though, because that doesn't really happen in the game.
Right.
But for Smash, it'll be good. Add variety to it. Let's see.
Next one.
Tuesday?
There we go. Luigi getting a bomb on his stomach.
Yeah, so interesting to note about this is that's actually Mega Man's move set. That's not an item.
Oh, okay.
That's why you have I don't know Mega Man's dog, but that's Mega Man's dog there, and that's part of his move set.
I'm trying to remember his name. I can't remember it from life.
I don't fucking know. But that's about all that can be said. Luigi's freaking out. Okay. Now this is interesting because this confirmed our earlier suspicions about the Pilot Wings stage.
Yep.
Obviously, you've got a simple two-tiered plane that you're fighting on. Don't know if it would take off and land. I mean, that would be cool, but if it didn't, that's awesome too.
Yeah. I think if anything, if it doesn't land, it would just fly around the island that's in the background there.
Well, that looks like Woohoo Island in the background, which would be from Sports Resort or Pilot Wings Resort.
Ah, okay.
So that basically makes me think that Woohoo Island will be either a part of this map or its own separate level. So
it's possible.
Yeah. Next we have it's just
this one actually made me made me laugh pretty just because it's fucking Luigi.
I'm not sure though if that's well, obviously Luigi's been knocked on his back. I don't know if that's her getting knocked on her back or if that's her crouching or what that is.
Yeah, maybe like crouching attack.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I don't know.
But again, she's always featured on her own stage. Very rarely do we see her on anything else.
Yeah. I feel like there was another image where the Wii board was stretched a different way. Like, I wonder if it's kind of like this little animated thing that kind of jumps around.
Did you ever play Wii Fit? Did you ever see Wii Fit?
No.
Because the Wii balance board does do that. It kind of hops around and walks and whatever.
No, okay.
So that's just a part of the level. That's nothing new.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, I guess it's just that's just what I thought, and you just confirmed it. So there we go.
Yep. And finally, Friday. This is the X-Bomb from Kid Icarus Uprising. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be like Pit's final or what have you. But yeah, it's a screenshot, of course.
Yeah.
It looks devastating, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I thought it originally was Mega Man's like Final Smash or something. That's just what I thought. But then when I saw the comments on it and realized it was an item from Kid Icarus, I was a little sad.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a new item or if that's going to be an attack. It looks like an item because of the colors in the background. It's not darkened.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but we still don't know enough about it.
Right.
It looks like it might be just an item that someone can grab.
Yeah. Kind of like oh, what is it? I'm thinking of the bomb from Star Fox.
Yeah. Similar type of idea.
Yeah.
Except this one, you know exactly where it's going to go. It's not as wide of an attack. This one will probably do more damage.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, because I would think because it requires more skill to move out of the way.
Less, I would say.
Wow.
whereas the other bomb has a wide range, does a little bit of damage, and then the one big hit. I'd imagine this would do a lot of damage in a quick burst. Because you know it's going to be X-shaped. Unless it's rotating. If it's rotating, you just fuck everything I just said. So.
Right.
Right.
So
that's it for the screenshots this week.
Mm-hmm.
This week's topic, you had brought up controls.
Yes. That was kind of
be implemented. Are you talking Wii U version only or 3DS as well?
I was actually kind of thinking about maybe both. We could talk about both. Because I mean, I know last week I said a little more specifically Wii U, but I was kind of thinking about like how like certain things about the 3DS, like, you know, if it'd be similar or the same or what have you, but we can go over that.
Yeah. So what we know so far from official statements made by Sakurai is that the pad will not be used, the touch screen will not be used in multiplayer in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
The single player is still kind of up in the air as to what the hell that even means, so if it were to have anything in there, it would probably be minimal at best.
Right.
So I wouldn't anticipate anything revolutionary coming out because of the touch screen.
Okay.
That's about it. And I'm assuming, based off of Brawl, that you'll be able to use Wii Remote Nunchuck, Classic Controller, Pro Controller.
Right.
Which is going to be a pain for individuals who refuse to give up the GameCube controller.
Now, do you think with the pad, like, the person that's playing on the pad would have their, you know, obviously their own screen, so then they can jump around, attack, and all that? Like, I mean, so they don't have to focus on the television? Like, they could just focus on the pad and then play that way?
Yeah, I'd assume that the pad would just be a duplicate of the television. At this stage.
Okay.
So, technically, I don't know why you would want to, but you could play 4-player Smash without a TV.
Well,
it would be...
Well, I'm not saying, like, set up the fucking pad and then have other people, 4 other people
That's
play
exactly what I'm saying, though.
Oh.
That could potentially be a possibility. It's a horrible idea. Because that pad is too small to fit 4 people around it. 2 people, yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, unless
4,
you,
no fucking way.
Yeah, unless you have, like, you know, an even smaller TV or something.
Yeah. If you have a TV so small that the Wii U pad is an upgrade, you probably shouldn't have bought the Wii U and bought yourself a better fucking television. Just saying.
Yeah.
But I'd expect, and I'm really hoping that they allow for controller customization. A lot like how they did in Brawl, because I couldn't play with a default Wii Remote Nunchuck config.
Right. Yeah. So I guess pad aside, let's talk about the other controls. I mean, obviously, it would still, for some of the ones that have been around, like the Wiimote and the Wiimote Nunchuck, and with the Pro Controller that you can connect to. I mean, obviously, those would be all kind of controls that obviously would still be the same. But, I mean, I guess the other thing I'm thinking is, which is kind of obvious that they would keep it, I don't know why the hell they would remove it, is being able to customize your button layout.
Yeah. Well, I just said that.
Yeah.
That they kind of need to have that.
Right.
And all I'm hoping for is a little bit more flexibility in it. Like in the old game, in Brawl, when you went to customize your controls, you could cycle through a number of commands for the button, but it wasn't every command. So it wasn't full customization. It was enough to where you could get it to do what you wanted.
So I guess they would leave that then. Maybe with this upcoming one, would they have it like fully customizable?
Hopefully.
I wouldn't see why not, considering if if it's set up where it's just a cycle system, I mean, the next step is just to have it fully customizable for, whatever the hell the person wants.
Yeah. No, I mean that's the most logical course of action. That way you get everyone to do what they want, and it's comfortable and nice.
Right.
Everyone gets to a point where they can play it. Now, the interesting thing to me would be the Pro controller.
Okay.
That they've got.
Now,
it does have rumble,
yeah.
which on some games you can't really tell. Other games it's very apparent.
Mm-hmm.
But my guess is the Pro controller will be the preferred controller for most people because it's closest to it. It is a traditional controller.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be for me.
Yeah, I've gotten too used to the Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
Yeah.
As long as I can do my customization. If I can't, I'm gonna have to go Pro controller.
Right.
But I don't see them really revolutionizing input for this game. The Smash Brothers theory and execution has always been the same.
Mm-hmm.
You have your attack button, you have your special button, you have the directions, you have your shoulders for shield, and one button for grab.
Right. Yeah, there was never any like control system where it was too complicated or it was just like too many buttons. Everything was in the right place and just what you needed was right there. There was nothing too complicated about it.
Yeah. And I don't see them fucking that up. The worst parts of Smash have never been the controls.
Yeah.
I just think a lot of people are going to be upset that they can't use their now decade-old GameCube controllers.
Right.
And that's why I went over to the Wii Remote Nunchuck in Brawl, because I knew GameCube controllers aren't going to be around forever.
Yeah.
Try the new one. And the GameCube controllers certainly aren't going to be compatible with whatever else they have. Which is now.
Pretty much.
But there are some interesting hacks that I've seen online where you can buy an adapter to plug a GameCube controller into your remote. So I can see a lot of people using that.
Okay.
So you use that as kind of like the classic controller, but it's a GameCube controller.
Interesting. Okay, so now that we've talked mostly about Wii U, obviously let's talk about 3DS.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't think there's kind of like what we've been saying. There's not really much to it. So, obviously the stick would be for movement, and then the buttons would correspond to the thing. The correct button, attack, and the special attack.
Your jumps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shielding, grab.
Right.
Yeah, it's all there. The only thing that I'm worried about with the 3DS version is my 3DS not holding up to Smash.
What do you mean?
As in, okay, so when you're playing Smash, it requires a lot of small, quick movements with the control stick.
Okay.
And I don't know about you, but playing my 3DS for an extended amount of time, that circle pad isn't exactly the most tactile. That's not the word I'm looking for. It doesn't stick to my thumb as good as a traditional control stick would.
Right.
So I feel like the 3DS version might end up being a little bit more frustrating to control.
Okay.
Especially to get the dashes and the smashes down right.
Now, this is then
circle pad.
So then would you think, because we were saying like what if the next one is fully customizable, would you be able to switch with having the D-pad as your default movement?
No, I would not be able to do that. How do you smash with the D-pad?
I don't know, use the stick instead.
You're talking in goddamn circles now.
Well, I'm just saying, like, why not? I mean, why the hell not have that you know, I mean, it doesn't make sense to you, but maybe for some people it might make sense to them.
Well, the Wii Remote only uses the D-pad too. And I
Right.
think it's a combination of attack buttons that you have to hit to do a smash.
Yeah, you have to do the direction and then attack at the same time to do
No. So how Smash works is that if you just hold over and hit A, that's a different attack than if you snap the stick to the right and hit A.
yeah.
Yeah. So you can't quite snap the D-pad in one direction and hit A.
You just
because
press
it isn't analog, it's digital.
I know, but you press at the same time and it'll do it.
No.
What do you mean, no?
That's not how it works.
Holding it and then pressing them at the same time, it does different attack sets. I will fucking show you next time you are here, you son of a bitch.
I swear to God, that's not how it worked. The way I saw it, because I was playing around with it, you had to hit 1 and 2 at the same time to pull off a smash. It had nothing to do with the D-pad. The D-pad gave you your direction, yes, but it wasn't a matter of timing your arrow pad. If anyone in the chat knows, please let us know, because you're wrong.
I don't know.
You're wrong. There's no way I would ever be able to play with just a D-pad. You need a control stick.
Wait, because wasn't one was grab, and then
No.
2 was attack?
No. 1 was attack, 2 was special, B was grab, which is on the back, and A is shield,
Okay.
I believe.
Which shield in that spot is like does not make sense.
No. Playing with just a Wii remote doesn't make any goddamn sense because you don't have a control stick. You need a control stick. That's why I think D-pad should always be relegated to taunts. Unless you're using nunchuck and Wii remote, in which case arrow down needs to be jump.
But okay, so you're saying that it didn't work with the Wiimote because, like, say, let's go back to 3DS. You were saying that it wouldn't work with the D-pad because there was a lack of buttons. But here we are, 3DS, more buttons than just a Wiimote. So how could it not work now?
And it won't work with a D-pad. With a D-pad only, you have to use a control stick. You have to have an analog input that can measure acceleration in order to do a smash attack.
Well,
the
fine.
D-pad should be relegated to taunting.
Fine.
I have no problems with it working on the 3DS. My only concern is that my thumb might slip off of that circle pad. That's what I was saying. I have no problems with it. It's just from a physical holding onto the goddamn device standpoint.
Plus, I think as any person that's played a 3DS for an extended period of time, your fingers start hurting a lot anyway.
They don't hurt as much on the XL.
Well, some people like myself, who has the regular, it fucking hurts.
The regular one cut into my fucking palms so bad.
And especially with something that's as intense as Smash, people are gonna be, their hands are gonna be freaking killing them.
Now the interesting thing is, and I think you'll see a lot more of this, is the Circle Pad Pro. Well, yeah, the Circle Pad Pro makes it a lot more comfortable to hold the 3DS.
Right.
So I think you'll see a lot more people purchasing that.
For Smash alone?
Just to have it hold on. Now, whether or not it'll actually utilize the Circle Pad Pro, I don't know. It would be very nice if they could. Because you get 2 additional shoulder buttons as well. And you get that other stick to do the quick smashes.
Yeah. That's exactly
what I was saying. So much more comfortable to hold. You can play a lot longer with it. You can actually play longer than the battery.
Yeah, I was about to say. Because the battery life isn't really
not on the original.
Yeah.
But I think it'll work. It'll work out fine. One of the shoulder buttons will have to be shield. The other one will have to be grab. It won't be shield on both of them.
No, I don't see it being like that. I could see. Yeah, I mean either left or right. I would see more kind of using, yeah, I guess right using as grab and then left as shield. I was kind of also thinking vice versa. I don't know.
See, for me, the opposite would have to be the truth.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's
really
a matter of playing around with it. Yeah.
They need to have the customization.
Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. That's all my thoughts, sir.
That's actually a much longer conversation than I thought we would have on controls.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if, like, from a physical stand, I know a lot of people have had, like, I've had 3DS since the day it came out. And I've played a lot of it, and I don't worry about the degradation of the device, but then again, I've never had anything that requires such quick inputs.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if this might not, I really hope not, bring out some physical flaw with the actual design.
Well, I know we've said it before in some of our earlier episodes. I mean, we kind of know that Smash Brothers is going to be definitely more for the people that are for the Wii U, whereas 3DS just seems kind of more of like, you know, you're obviously not playing it at home, so you're kind of like on the road, and you know what the hell, you have a couple friends who also have it, and you want to play a few rounds. Like I could see that being
It
used.
is going to be fucking amazing for conventions and waiting for panels.
Right. No, exactly, and I think
It's going to be incredible.
I really think that's kind of how it's going to be used. Where with the Wii U version is, you know, the going to be the primary version that everyone's going to have.
Yeah. Now, I still want to see what they're talking about with cross-platform communication. Yes, you won't have the play, but I want to see, because they're gonna utilize that.
Right.
And actually, the first game to utilize that is the upcoming Sonic Lost World.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you play on the 3DS version, you design little robots or shit in Tails' shop, you send that to the Wii U version, a second player can play as your gadget. That's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
I hope that there's certain levels, like, let's say there's a flip note level, where you'll have one person connected to the Wii U through a 3DS, and they start drawing the level as you're fighting on it. Kind of like a fifth player idea.
So would it be kind of like a level where it's like, it's one of those moving levels and the person can draw on it, or is it just like stationary?
PictoChat. Like the PictoChat level.
Yeah.
From Brawl.
Right.
It'd be stationary, but you can draw, and your drawings would only last for so long. They would eventually disappear on their own.
Right.
But you could only draw so much to prevent people from blacking out the screen.
I would just draw a 4-squared room all the time.
Nope. Stay away from each other. No one fighting. Stop it. Jesus. That'd be atrocious.
Well, no, I just meant like in an enclosed room. That's just like one room that just everyone's enclosed in all the time. It's just like until everyone gets up to 999, and it's like, all right, go.
Jesus.
Except that shit would take forever.
I could see them doing something like that, though.
Yeah.
So that about draws the episode to a close. Next time.
Wait, but we have some viewers, so if there's any questions, comments, anything about Smash in general, questions, I'm going to type that. Questions, comments with question mark? See how that's weird? Questions with no question mark and comments with a question mark?
You're dumb.
That's fucked up.
You're fucking dumb. Jesus Christ. They might not have a Twitch account. You don't know.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, look at that.
Well,
dumbass.
Alright. So, fine.
Moving on.
Yes.
Next week, I would like to discuss Ganondorf.
Okay.
His moveset, where they can go from there. Ganondorf.
Subtitle.
Also known as
character.
Sexy Dwarf. Also known as Oldendorf if you pick the right color scheme.
Oh. Which one's Sexy Dwarf?
All of them.
Oh, okay.
Gandorf's fucking sexy.
And I'm assuming the old one is when you do white with him, right?
White hair.
Yes. Oh, Christ. All right.
So, follow us. I am at Daron Bell on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Typing away.
Are Captain Wally on Twitter. We are...
And Utterly Geek.
Utterly Geek on Twitter.
Yep.
I am sending messages too quickly. Tune in here, same website, every Sunday for Smash Attack.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you. We will end now and talk to you later. Goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye. See you next week, hopefully. Yes.